have a little break in activity at the shop. So I caught up on some bookkeeping and just some other random stuff, and now I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon working on the Corvette to try to get the rear end swapped out before I have another use for the lift. Before I go tearing the Corvette apart, I want to, hey, it's been drained. I want to check out the junkyard rear end and make sure that it's, you know, in some kind of working order. Yeah, so here's the car I came off of. Wow, they even included the VIN number and everything. You know, it seems like a small company trying to be as legit as possible, so that's why I have a little bit more faith that this is going to be in good shape, but I'm still not just going to jam it in there. It's too much work to go oops and have to redo it. So I just want to have a visual, just see if anything looks out of the ordinary. Looks like just general age. Nothing alarming at all. It sat a lot. You can see a line right there. It looks like it sat around a lot. I guess if it only had 25,000 miles and it was from 2007, then it did. It sat a lot. Yeah, no metal shavings. Man, these bearings sound like butter. Let's check the LSD. Yeah. LSD is working. Here, see anything drastically wrong? It doesn't look like the seals were leaking in any way. It's not got a lot of corrosion on it from like being in a salt weather climate. So, I mean, I see nothing, hear nothing that makes me think it's a bad rear end. I've been to the junkyard before looking for parts, and as soon as you pop the rear cover off, you can see hunks of metal, you can see gouges in things, or you can see that it was completely missing fluid. You know, like there's pretty much, if you can see something visually wrong with something, then it's a toasted rear end. I realize that, you know, not measuring the backlash and blah, 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 I could be overlooking something, but I'm not terribly worried because the business I bought it from really seemed like they were trying to be on the up and up, and that they were not trying to just, you know, make money and, you know, out to screw people. So we will see. Whenever I get the rear end out of the Corvette, I'm going to do a much deeper dive on that one to figure out exactly what failed. So I am ripping apart the rear end of the Corvette. Got a little bit of a head start on you guys. All the batteries in my cameras were dead, so I had to keep working. I have a tiny little gap and I don't have a lot of time, so I'm trying to get as much done as I can. But got some of the stuff started. Got some of the rear end, you know, wiring and stuff for the turbo done. Just some basic nuts and bolts. I'm about to drop this so I can get the axles out. So haven't really made it that far. I think I'm about an hour and a half into it. So I'm gonna put you guys over here. We're gonna do a nice little time lapse and I'll pick you guys back up whenever I get the rear end out. Okay, autopsy is about to begin. I am terrified that the output shaft of the transmission has a crack in it. There's a funny looking spot. I'm terrified the output shaft is cracked. Ooh. Hi, baby girl. Definitely a more significant wear pattern on my rear end than on that other one. I don't even know where the spider gears are in this. It's a little bit different of a rear end than I'm used to dealing with. Oh, I need to take this mount off real quick. That is missing on the new one. And I had a little bit of trouble getting it out because that bolt right there was not obvious. I don't even know which side to start on. On the last one, I couldn't really see anything by taking that off. I guess the side cover. Take the side cover off and see if there's anything interesting. Oh, that's great. Apparently there's still plenty of fluid in there. Well, if it wasn't broken before, it's broken now. Something shot off of it. That's what shot off of it. There are no metal pieces in here. Oh, that whole thing comes out, okay. Need something. I've never taken one of these rear ends apart, so this is all very new to me. So you're watching live learning happen. And really, I'm only taking this apart because I have to find the problem. If the rear end's not broken, what's the noise? You know? Okay, why did you come that far and then stop? Wow, that's it? That's the whole thing? The rest of it's just a case? There's literally nothing else in there. The pinion's back here. Huh. Well, several people have said my spider gears are shattered. I kind of have to keep disassembling until I find something broken. Because if nothing's broken in here, that means it's in the transmission, I guess. Another thing besides the fluid on the ground makes me think that, you know, it pops really loud whenever you try to turn. That's the other thing that makes me think it's the rear end. There's nothing cracked or broken. The pinion gear definitely has a, you know, 110,000 mile wear pattern on it. Okay, I guess we take this thing apart, but I don't know what happens when I take it apart. I don't know if it has like some kind of preload or what. That bearing is probably pressed on there, if I had to guess. These bolts look like they go all the way down through. I'm willing to bet that just holds the ring gear on. Why did you have to get weird, GM? Why did you have to get weird? All the bolts are the same. Huh. The whole thing's gonna come off. Yep. Let's see if I can get you guys in here close. Well, there's your problem. Broke the spider gears. That is probably why it was popping. Let's see if I can me pop that out. Yeah, so that appears to be the problem. This one looks fine. That's probably not supposed to be broken. Oh, it boogered up the inside of the housing. This gear looks okay. So apparently that tooth got stuck in there and just chewed it up. Something tells me that if it wasn't an LSD, it would have caused a lot more damage. The clutch packs aren't broken. I believe I got off pretty easy. Well, at least now I know exactly what the problem was. That guy right there. Now what's concerning to me is I think I can see a crack in the output shaft of the transmission. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you guys a good shot of it, but I'm going to try. Maybe it's a crack, maybe it's not. I don't know. I can see it. Don't know if you guys can. It's kind of a spiral pattern. So I don't know how to check if that's an actual crack or not. Another day at the shop, trying to make ends meet. You know how it goes. So last night I got the rear end apart, figured out where it was broken, and the output shaft of the transmission is definitely messed up. But I do not have time to let it sit on the rack, me order stuff, take it apart, blah, blah, blah. So I am going to put the good rear end into the car and get it off the rack so I can at least drive it for advertisement and stuff like that. I'm not going to be able to take it to the track, but sometime in the very near future I'll order parts and I'll just have to rip it apart again and rebuild the transmission. I've got a computer back for that scat pack over there, and the whole time he was waiting for his scat pack, he kept giving me more and more parts, more and more things he wants to do, so that has turned into a decent build. That red truck over there has issues, still waiting on that parts for that car. Still got wiring and stuff to do on this one, but he just gave me the new Dizzy that I need to hook up his Holly, so that one will be hopefully getting back on that one toward the end of the week. Jam this rear end back in the car.